Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Moonriver. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. Now, if you haven't seen the previous update, make sure you watch that before watching this one. It's going to be linked in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Now, let's jump straight into the TA. So taking a look at the daily chart, let's zoom in and see what's going on. So we have two Fibonacci retracements playing out. Let's remove the larger one and take a look at this one. So we have the swing high printed in February and the swing low printed on February 13th. So we had this impulsive move to the upside, and now we're retracing down and we're coming below the 0.786. We are opening candles below the 55 daily EMA, and we are, by the looks of things, on our way back to this swing low at $8.24. Now, I would say this is going to be a very good buying opportunity, and I would certainly be looking at purchasing some tokens at around this low that we printed on the February 14th and 13th. Now, if we drop lower, which it is possible, it's possible we go below this low because the way that inflation is showing its strength right now is not very good, and the Fed will try to battle that. So I don't think we're going to have a 0.5% rate hike on March 22nd. I do think they're going to go for the 25 basis points hike. However, I do think Jerome Powell is going to be very hawkish in his speech after the meeting. So that is exactly what could take the markets lower. So you have to be ready with some spare cash on the sidelines, potentially buying this dip. So if we go below $8.24, the technical target is going to be the 1.618 fib level at $6.63 or 64 cents roughly, which is around about this low that where we went down in January. So as you can see, we bottomed out January 1st, and then we continued in this uptrend into February. So I wouldn't really want to see this broken, but for the sake of buying as cheap as possible, of course, the 1.618 would be great. This would be a great buying area, and I'm probably going to set up some buy limit orders here at $6.85. Like in between the 1.414 and the 1.618. So that's something that we could be looking at. Now, if I bring back the other fib that I had here, there we go. And let's zoom in and see what's going on here. So with this fib, we had the swing high printed in November and the swing low printed in October. We retraced all the way back down to the second fib level, and then we had a full retracement to the swing high. And now we're dropping back down again, and we're below the first level. So the 1.618, once again, here is $7.26. That is going to be a major target for us. And you can set up some buy limit orders as well around these prices. So you can take a look at those areas, like I said, as good buying opportunities. So between the 1.618 and the $6.32 at the second fib level, this really is going to be a very, very lucrative buying area. So if we come back down to this support block, that's going to be great. And I'm going to buy a bunch of tokens in that area. So hopefully that happens. Let me just bring back the other fib so that we remember that we had this drawn out. And as you can see, we ran into the same resistance at $12.96, just like we did back in November, just like we did back in October. So this area here is very, very strong. And if you had this drawn out in the past, you could have potentially set up some limit orders, and we did trade this with my patrons. So we had a couple of nice swing trades, and we're already buying back into the project. Now, taking a look at the daily RSI, let's see what's going on here. So obviously, we're dropping below the light blue support trend line. We dropped below the white support trend line, and we are on our way back to the red support trend line. So hopefully we see a bounce off of the red support trend line, just like we did back in January last year, in May last year, a fake out in June, and another touch here in December last year. So a bounce from the red trend line is going to be a very, very possible thing to see because it has happened before on multiple occasions. So historically speaking, this is possible. Even if we get a slight bounce to the upside and then we move back forward, this potential bounce here is going to have some profit in it. So you could trade that if you want to, but I would assume that if we lose the red support trend line, then we'd probably be moving somewhere closer to this low that we printed back in January, which is around about $6. So from the high that we printed in March or in February here, we've already corrected 34%. And if we go back down to the 1.618 level of the white fib, that's going to be 45%. And if we go all the way down to $6.65, that's going to be a 49% pullback, which is possible. Like we have done this before. For example, once we saw this pump here in October, and then we went back down even lower, 43%. We saw this pump here in December, we went down around 41%. So it is possible we might see these sort of pullbacks. I would say below $7 is a great area. If it goes lower, you can buy more, but really I would be eyeballing $7 and $7.10 as a major entry. So yeah, that's what I have here for the daily chart. Let's switch over to the Binance website real quick. And before we continue with the video, guys, I quickly want to give a shout out to everyone who has joined my Patreon. Thank you very much. And if you want to become a part of the Patreon and, you know, get access to a lot of exclusive content, such as podcast episodes for patrons only, my trade alerts, my entire portfolio, I share everything that I buy and everything that I sell. If you want to leave some requests, we can take a look at your projects on Patreon. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on there. I try to do daily updates and daily posts in there. So if you want to try it out for free, you can do that as well. There's a 7-day free trial, so you can do that and let me know what you think. Let's get on with the video. Taking a look at the weekly on Binance, as you can see, we ran into the 20 EMA as resistance. This was a very good selling opportunity for anyone looking to swing trade because the 20 EMA is a very strong resistance level on the weekly chart. And if we, what did I want to do? So one thing that we need to pay attention to is the volume. Look at this volume. This is big numbers entering the project. So that's really good to see. And as you can see, the low that we printed here in December, $6.24. So you can target that. And we're breaking below the 10 EMA, which is quite negative as well. I was hoping we could hold that as support, but no, we're dropping down even lower. And potentially, if we continue our way back down to this support level, then the technical target of the falling wedge is invalidated because we haven't continued and we haven't reached that. Some projects did, some projects didn't, which is fine. So we could potentially set a double bottom pattern here if we continue down this low. We could have a nice double bottom pattern, and if that were to happen, the technical target from that would be, let me just take that. So the technical target would be at around about $19.50-ish. So $19 to $19.50 to $20, that would be our target out of this potential double bottom pattern. Let's jump into the daily chart and take a look at the volume. So as you can see, the volume is, as you can see, we're going lower and lower as the pullback continues. So less volume, less people trading, that is expected. Now taking a look at the stochastic, you can see that we have gotten overbought here at the beginning of February. And now we're coming back down to the oversold. So if you manage to get back down to this area just like you did here, that's going to be a great buying opportunity. So you can kind of combine all of these indicators together and all the support levels from the fib. You can combine all of that together to pinpoint a very good entry point for yourself. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not going to tell you when to enter. I just told you where I'm going to be entering for my swing trading positions. So if we go anywhere below $7, I'm going to be putting pretty much all of my money, all of the swing trading money I have set up for Moonriver or set aside for Moonriver at these prices. If we dump lower, I'll buy even more, but hopefully we don't break this low, because in that case, you know, we're just continuing the downtrend and I really don't want to see that. Hopefully we end 2023 at a very good price for Moonriver, potentially sitting at somewhere around about $50. And that is it for Moonriver. We're pulling back down just like I was expecting, really. Not trying to blow my own trumpet, but I was telling people that we're very overbought. We're going to be pulling back down, so make sure you have your buy limit orders set up. So thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think of Moonriver, and let me know what are your long-term targets. I'm going to see you in the next update. Take care.